Hi, I'm Christy Rost. When you crave comfort food to make you feel warm and cozy, hot from the oven recipes are particularly soothing, especially during cooler months. But have you ever noticed how guests respond to a comforting meal? They love it as much as we do. Today's recipes are designed to comfort you, your family, and your friends. Welcome to At Home with Christy Rost. I am making ground lamb personal pies, and this is really easy to do. So I have my beautiful Viking hybrid skillet here. I've added just a little bit of olive oil to the bottom. I'm just swirling a little. And I have a pound of ground lamb. So I'm going to put this into the pan. Ooh, listen to the sizzle. I'm going to break it up. I like to use a spatula for this. I just find it easier than a spoon. The thing I love about individual dishes is I think it makes everyone feel extra special when they have their own, pot pie, their own serving of chili in a little ramekin, any of that kind of thing. I just like the whole idea of personal. And sometimes it's just not any harder to do a personal size serving than it is to do one big one. And, you go into the big one to serve. By the time you get to the third person, it doesn't look so good. So this way, everybody gets their own pot pie that looks really cute. And I think, anything that elevates a meal, and even though it's a comforting meal, anything that elevates it to make everyone feel more special, I'm for that. That's what I love to do. It also allows you to take a rather ordinary kind of everyday recipe and make it extra special. So if you make a really great chicken noodle casserole, okay? If you put it in a big casserole dish, it looks great. But if everybody has their own serving dish of it, their own little ramekin or their own little au gratin dish or whatever, then it looks really special. So it's a way to dress up an everyday recipe. In this case, we're going to dress up some ground lamb. So I'm going to let this brown. It's going to take a few minutes. So I think we'll come right back and then we'll be able to move right on and show you the rest. So I browned all of the lamb and spooned off the fat. Now I'm going to add in some onion. And it's pretty finely chopped. Some garlic. Give this a quick stir. Because it's so finely chopped, it only takes moments for it to soften, which is so nice. Now add in the garlic. This feels like a comforting meal already. I'm going to add in some freshly chopped herbs. I have dill, some rosemary, and parsley. That's all finely chopped. Add in some mushrooms and just gently toss this until the mushrooms soften. Nice, very nice. I'm going to lower the heat now. And I'm going to start making the pastry for the pot pies. So here in my food processor, I have some flour. And you'll find the recipes on my website, so you'll know how much, here I'll use the salt. I have about a half teaspoon of salt. So you'll be able to find this recipe easily, okay? Promise. And that's ChristyRost.com. Okay, then I'm just going to put on the lid, which I have stashed under here, and pulse this. Now I'm going to step away for just a moment because I have some ice cold butter and it's warm in the room today, so I wanted to keep it in the fridge. So I'm going to step away for a second, grab the butter and bring it right back. And I cut my butter into small pieces, small cubes, so that some of the work is already done before the food processor needs to work on it. And it's important to keep the butter ice cold, which is why I waited and kept it in the fridge, especially when it's warm in the room, because it's those flecks of butter that are going to make the pastry so light and tender. And if the butter is warm, it just kind of goes into one big blob, rather than light, flaky pastry. There we go. Now, put the lid on and just pulse. And I pulse until the butter is about pea size. Then you'll notice that I have some ice water here. I actually have ice cubes floating in here. And that's because I want ice cold butter and ice cold water. Again, to keep the butter nice and cold as I can. So I'm putting in, I'll start with 3. You never know, it's easier to add a little water if needed. And I can tell from the way the crumbs are that I really need the extra tablespoon of water. So this is number 4. I'm gonna put in a smidge more. Depending on where you live and what the weather is like that day, depends on how much water you need to add. See, the crumbs are really starting to come together now. Let me move that for you. And I want to feel this to see how it feels just a teeny dry to me. So I'm going to put in about a teaspoon worth of water, because I don't want it gummy. I don't want it real wet. See how it chases itself around? Then you know you're done. So I would take this pastry, wrap it in plastic wrap, and put it in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes to chill, to keep that butter nice and cold, and then roll it out. So we'll take a quick break and be right back.
Experience an immersive culinary adventure with Atlas Ocean Voyages. Led by seasoned experts, savor regional flavors and exclusive culinary moments. Discover captivating destinations and authentic traditions aboard elegant, all-inclusive yachts hosting fewer than 200 guests. Atlas Ocean Voyages, where every Epicurean adventure is a feast for the senses.
So I've stirred together 3/4 cup of beef broth and 2 tablespoons of flour. I'm adding this to the skillet. This is going to help provide the moisture that this dish needs. And I need a little salt and some ground pepper. And right away, this is all nice and thick. See, isn't that pretty? It's gonna be great inside the ramekins. So I can turn this off now. That's a pretty dish. And I have my pastry. It's been in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, so it's nice and cold. I'm gonna roll this out. I always use a pastry cloth when I roll pastry. That way it doesn't stick the way it can sometimes stick on a counter. So if you're getting real frustrated with your pastry, the pastry cloth may be your solution. And they aren't expensive. And you can often find them even in supermarkets, but certainly in any specialty cooking store. Let's see, I've got 4 ramekins. So I'm figuring out if I have to roll my pastry any other direction, see, that's going to be just perfect. That's an easy way to figure out if you have enough pastry. The only place where I'm a little shy is going to be right here in the middle. So I'm going to remove these and roll just a little more that direction to give me a little more space between those ramekins. So that's how to save yourself from ending up short. See, now I have lots more between, and that'll be important. And this one too. And just cut the pastry then right across. And cut this direction as well. There. Now I know that my pastry is big enough, wide enough to cover the pot pie. I'm going to just stack these here for a little bit. And fold this up so I don't get it all messy. There, move it to the board. And the pastry's still cold. Now I have my ramekins that I can fill. And this is just going to taste so good, so comforting. Anything with pastry is always yummy anyway. There's one. Let's do another. And another. Now you can always add other things to this. I tried to keep it as simple as I could for you. But you know, if you like carrots in something like this, you like chopped celery, any of those things that you want to add in, feel free to do that. But I wanted to make a fairly basic recipe and let you be creative and design it just the way you would like, so it reflects what you like and your meals at your table. Now this one's a little shy. I like to start small so I don't overload one and run out at the end. This one too. These mushrooms are sliced pretty thinly. I used baby bellas, but you can use your favorite mushroom. Also, whatever's on sale. Wonderful. All right. There's a little one right there. Get in there. Okay. So now I have my pastry, and I'll go ahead and do one for you. There we go. I'm going to grab a pair of scissors. You know, scissors work really well when you're cutting pastry. And I'm leaving an overhang because I want to crimp this. There we go. And then just fold it under all the way around a little bit. Now, you can make that filling ahead of time, you know. You don't have to do this all at the last minute. You can even make your pastry ahead of time. And just wrap it real well and keep it in the fridge. If I have extra pastry left over, pie pastry, then I like to freeze it. I'll wrap it real well and freeze it, then crimp. There we go. And then you always want to put a couple little vent holes in. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Brush this with a little egg wash. That's egg mixed with 1 tablespoon of water. Do the rest. Put them on a tray in case they overflow when they get hot and bubble. Pop them in the oven. So I'll continue on with the others. And then I have a great recipe for you with yellow squash. Developed over 20 years ago through classic breeding at Washington State University's tree fruit program, the Cosmic Crisp apple is known for its perfectly balanced flavor, remarkable texture, juiciness, and striking color. These qualities make the Cosmic Crisp apple ideal for a versatile range of uses, from snacking and baking to cocktails, juicing, decor, and more. Available nationwide at grocery stores in all seasons, the Cosmic Crisp apple is now one of the nation's best-selling apples. Cosmic Crisp is hands down my favorite apple, and I'm honored to have Cosmic Crisp as a returning sponsor of At Home with Christy Rost. Here's another easy, comforting dish for you: summer squash gratin. And I start with little olive oil in my Viking skillet, some onion. This is sweet onion. I prefer sweet onion. Doesn't make you cry the way yellow and white onion does. And it just is sweeter. Saute for a very few minutes until this softens. I think I'll add just a tiny bit more of the olive oil, just right there, about a little dab. There we go. And then add in some garlic. This is 2 cloves of garlic, large cloves, not those little things. And saute that. Just keep stirring so the garlic doesn't burn. Add in the squash, yellow squash or summer squash, however you want to refer to it, pretty quickly. So you don't want to overcook it because this is going to go in the oven. So it's nice if you have something already, your main dish going into the oven, then it's really nice when you have a quick dish, vegetable dish, that you can also put in the oven and have everything come out at the same time. So we're going to give these just a very few minutes to soften. I'll stir every now and then we'll come right back and finish up this casserole. So the squash has softened a bit, and I allowed the garlic and onions get just a teeny bit brown, just to heighten the flavor. I'm adding a cup of heavy cream now. Ooh, this is gonna make this nice and rich. And some Car Valley Grand Canaria cheese shredded, about 3/4 of a cup. Some salt and pepper. Just a smidgen, a whisper of white pepper. You don't need very much, you don't want very much. It's quite strong, but it has a beautiful flavor. Some freshly ground nutmeg. I always like to grate my own. Some fresh herbs. Pretty, pretty, look at that. And just stir this a little. Going to let the cheese melt. Oh, this is just so pretty. Get all those nice herbs and seasonings around the pan. Let this cook for several minutes. As it cooks, the cream will start to thicken, and then we'll put it into the casserole dish. I'm going to transfer this now to the casserole dish. Turn it to the side here. And it will continue to thicken in the oven. Look at the pretty colors. I really, really love that. This is the thing about summer squash or yellow squash. Color is so pretty in a casserole. Okay, then I'm going to top this with some Parmesan cheese. Oh, that means my pot pies are ready. I'm going to turn off the timer. Hang on. Coming back. Let's see. Oh, 5 more minutes. I love when those are ready. Okay, now I'm going to sprinkle some grated Parmesan cheese on here. Thank you, Carr Valley cheese in Wisconsin. And some breadcrumbs to make this gratin just so cheesy with that nice little crunch on top from the breadcrumbs. And about the time that the pot pies are coming out, the squash is going in. So I'm going to take this to the oven and we will bake this. So let me get the temperature and time for you. So 375 to 400 degrees, and this will only take about, maybe 30 minutes. Let's put it in the oven. So here we go. This looks so pretty, and I'm excited about the pot pies. Let me take some hot pads, put this on the lower shelf so I can get the pot pies out of the upper shelf. Can't wait for you to see these. Oh, look, so pretty. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, I'm going to put these over on the stovetop to cool for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I will serve them. Fantastic. Okay, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to have the pot pies. The squash will be done in no time flat, and we've got a beautiful wine to go with it, and we will wrap up. Today's comforting dishes were so easy and fun to make. First of all, ground lamb personal pot pies with a flaky pastry, and it just goes in the oven and it's nice and creamy inside with the lamb and the fresh herbs. And the summer squash gratin with summer squash, yellow squash, okay? Gran Canaria cheese from Carr Valley, cream, herbs, a little bit of nutmeg, a whisper of white pepper. This dish, and don't forget on the top, those breadcrumbs that get so nice and toasty in the oven and give you that lovely little crunch with every bite. So what would round out a meal like this better than a Sauvignon Blanc? So I have a Provence Sauvignon Blanc. It sources the grapes from the North Coast. It's refreshing, it's crisp, it's fruity, but not too grapefruity. The reason it goes so well is because you have the acid of the wine with the creaminess of the lamb dish and of the squash. And when you get a pairing like that, you get a delightful experience. So thanks so much for joining me today on At Home with Christy Rost, where great food, beautiful wines, and hospitality are a tradition. Today's recipes were designed for warm and cozy days, and you'll find them on my ChristyRost.com website. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Atlas Ocean Voyages, Cosmic Crisp Apples, Viking Culinary Cookware, and Little Bear Honey. Thanks also to our friends at Bean Candle Company, Melissa's Produce, Provenance Vineyards, and Tavolo. See you next time.